Let's do it.
Hi, welcome to Screw the News. Another edition, another week in lockdown. This thing has got to be over soon. Let's hope this vaccine works for everybody and we can get the hell out of the house for a while. You know, I've been locked down here since March 20th. I've driven my truck 3 miles since March 20th. You know, and one of them was to the store today, and I only did it out of boredom. I just wanted to get out of the house, and my wife been ordering at Whole Foods and having it delivered, and now they're offering something where you can go over to the store and pick it up. You don't have to even get out of your car. They have a special place for you to park and everything. And so I said, I just need to get out of the house for a couple minutes. Why don't we order that, and I'll put a mask on and go over there and pick those groceries up. And so that's what I did. And they have a special place for you to park. I pull in there and I hit the button and the hatch comes open. And girl came out and put the groceries in the back, didn't speak nothing. But you know, I saw the damnedest thing I ever seen in my life. I mean, I can understand handicap parking and all that, you know, and give them a parking place close to the store and all. But this, can you explain this to me? Look at this. This is what I saw over there. Now, special parking for fat men that grill? I can't buy that. No. I mean, they probably spend a lot of money on the meat and everything, but my God, a special parking place for fat men that grill. Ain't this something? Anyhow, listen, I go through the computer. I'm on the computer most of the day, and I get my news and everything else off there. And I saw on the news today that Lady Mary Kay Letourneau died. And this was back in July. And she didn't die from the COVID. I guess she had cancer of some sort. And if you don't know, you know who Mary Kay Letourneau is. She hit headlines, oh hell, back in the 90s, late 90s. She was a school teacher, had sex with a 13-year-old boy in her class. You know, they busted her and Jack had, I don't know how many babies with that boy, because she went to prison for it for a while and all that, you know. And his name was Billy Palau. Billy Palau. Now, that's a hell of a name, you know. And then I think that's part of the reason that girl kept having sex with that boy. That's a heck of a name for sex. You know, women, you know, like the name pelvis, oh, pelvis. Every time I do that, they tell me to shut up, you know. But, you know, that Billy Palau, them women, they get it. But I can imagine that woman, I know that name was part of the reason that woman was doing it. She said, oh, Billy Palau, Billy Palau, wow. You know, you in the car with me on that one? That boy was 13 years old. I tell you, I had something similar happen to me. I was in class, and you know, and the teacher had on this short skirt, and she bent over to pick up the eraser or something off the floor, and I started to cry. And she came up to me and she said, well, what's wrong? And I said, I'm sorry, but I was told that if I ever had any bad thoughts, I'd turn to stone, and I just started. She said, no. She started explaining to me what was going on, and one thing led to another, and pretty soon, you know what happened. And man, and I told my friend Jackie Peters about it. He must have told somebody else, because somebody must have told somebody else, and then my dad found out about it, and he yelling and screaming at me, and then my uncle found out about it. He would come over and he would shoot me. You know, see, I was being homeschooled at the time. Oh, no, don't get the wrong idea. My mother was sick, and my uncle was dating this girl that was a stripper at a club here in town, and she was like a substitute, and then she became something else of a toot. But anyhow, that was just my experience in life. Okay, so enough of this. Let's get on with the show. Wow, we got quite a lineup for you tonight. And we're going to start things off with Ask Pelvis a Question. What? Well, to answer that question, metaphorically speaking, that was Elvis's private bakery shop. You know what I'm saying there? And now I know, if you ask me the question now, I know for a fact that on April 28th, that woman's going to turn 80 years old. And if you ask me what that Danish tastes like now, I'd have to say, depends. Woo. Well, I am pleased as punch to be announcing this. We have Marie Johns. I just want to give a shout out to her tonight. She has hit #1 on the top 150. And she has a song, Impossible Love, and it is just a beautiful song. All the links will be down below here. I want you guys to go check that out. It's a beautiful song. She's doing really well with it. And take a look at this. I mean, you can read this. And while you're reading that, you get down to the bottom there. It says that she's going to be, her new song is Father, Oh Father. Well, Pelvis is happy to say that I wrote that song. And she's going to cover that song. And I know she'll just do a fantastic job. And I'm sitting on pins and needles waiting for it to come out. And I'm so happy that she's doing it. And apparently she's doing a couple other songs of mine. So I'll keep you informed about when that album's coming out. And thank you, Marie. You're a beautiful, talented person. And I'm so happy you're a friend of this show. And talking about Marie Johns, I wouldn't be in touch with her if it wasn't for Paul Robert Thomas. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I want you guys to go check out this album too. Believe I tout this thing almost on a weekly basis, and I want you to check it out. It's a great album. I mean, it's got some fantastic music on there, and you won't be disappointed. So, Paul Robert Thomas, Believe. Check it out, okay? Here's a regular that we have on the show every week. Ramblin Jake, Big Pink Pick of the Week. Take it, Jake.
Hi, welcome to Victorian Station, the Big Pink. I'm Karen Ann, and we're here for the Big Pink Pick with Ramblin Jake. I would like to introduce to you Ramblin Jake, and also our special guest, Carol Butler. And she's one of the performers who we're going to feature, a performance that she's done here at Victorian Station, which we call the Big Pink. But first, let's start about you telling us, Ramblin Jake, about what brought this whole music endeavor here.
Well, we had a couple of good friends come over one day for lunch. It was around the holidays. It was, I think, around Thanksgiving, just before Thanksgiving. Actually, it's a very good friends of Carol, which you'll probably hear about in just a little bit. But Vaughn Deal and Sue Ann Doyer, who've done great music in this area for 30 plus years. And I was asking them over, we were asking them over for some advice about, hey, what would it take maybe to, get some music going in here? And we had a nice tea and food and everything and sit down, but showed it to him. He gave me some ideas and I said, hey, when can you start? He said, what? You're talking about me? And I said, yeah, who else? So that's how it all got started back in 2011 is when we had our first show here in February 2011. So it's been going pretty nicely ever since. And, getting ready for today's show, I was just looking through some of the old footage and came across an excellent performance by Carol, which we'll see in just a little bit. But I'd like Carol just to mention a little bit about that connection, because she's had a very good connection, music connection with Vaughn for a while now, right?
Yes, we've been friends for a long time. We were neighbors, and golly, there was one street in Buckrow, Hampton, and a lot of music. But yeah, we did a lot of music together, played here a lot, and Vaughn is just so much fun. And can I tell you that story about?
Tell it.
the
Tell it. It's a
strawberry
great
banks?
story. It's why
we used to call it the Bang at the Banks. Always a party at the Strawberry Banks. But back in, God, it was in the early 80s, I guess. It was, I don't know if y'all remember, Al Briggs, Snooky Earl. We used to be a little trio and would play every weekend at the Strawberry Banks. And one weekend Al was out of town, and I always thought 4 hours of my music would be totally boring for everybody. So I only wanted to do 2 hours at a time. And Vaughn said, I'll split the night with you. And well, the Grateful Dead were in town playing the Hampton Roads Coliseum. So, Hampton Coliseum. So we're up there playing, singing our little hearts out. And all of a sudden, we're behind the mics. Vaughn turns to me and said, did you see who just walked in the door? And I go like that. And it was like, then it was stage fright. It was, oh my God. It was the Grateful Dead. So I couldn't get out from behind that microphone fast enough. It was so intimidating. But we ended up partying with the Grateful Dead. I have his autograph, Jerry Garcia's autograph.
Woohoo. You
And,
have claim to fame that you have opened for the Grateful Dead.
Right.
Right. Even though they finished playing their night at the Coliseum. But yeah, what fun. But that was 80s. Vaughn and I go back a long way.
Yeah, y'all are both really a treasure around here to us, so it's great to have you.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for performing at Victorian Station, the Big Pink. And now let's take a look at Carol Butler for Ramblin Jake's Big Pink Pick.
Thanks.
She was back in high school then, nearly everybody's friend. She kept smiling as she was fed reality. She wore lots of makeup and rolled her hair, was a little bit chubby, but everybody said she had a good personality. The men she secretly loved would tell her tales of their lady friends. They'd ask for her advice, it must have killed her, but what could she say? All the while she dreamed Mr. Right would come along, and he'd gently show her love's way. 10th grade she started going steady. It was a little college dude with a big class ring, lots of oils on rubber bands. Lasted 5 years, give or take a few months, and then she realized he wasn't taking the love she held out for him in her hands. He was into playing with a little lady back at school, I reckon. In the eyes of the guys, well, he looked pretty cool, but you know, his little lady at home never dreamed it would turn out that way. It must have killed her, but what could she say?
Boy, was that something. Just,
Thank you, Carol. And I heard Rosa was actually you in your
Well,
day.
I guess everybody knows that now. Yeah, yep, it was a biography put to music, but yeah.
was wonderful.
Thanks again for sharing that with us.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Enjoyed it.
And thank you for watching Ramblin Jake's Big Pink Pick.
Ramblin Jake, Big Pink Pick of the Week. And thank you too, Karen and Ann. Appreciate everything you guys are doing. And up next, she's been on the show 2 or 3 times now. I can't get enough of this girl. Old friend of mine. I met this girl back in the mid-90s, early 90s, something like that. And prolific songwriter and great performer, great talent. She's got a great band put together that she's held together for many years. And here's a new song of hers, Simple Man, Kelly's Lot. Kelly Zerbitz, thank you, girl.
built these walls so tall. I didn't think that they'd ever fall. I found me an answer to help me understand. He's got no games to play all day. He will mean just what he'll say. I found me a best friend who understands. He just loves me with a passion. He's a simple man. I'm gonna hold him till I cry. Give up that ghost and fly. It ain't been easy, never being young. He made me feel like it's all just begun. I'm feeling like a child with a heart to understand. He just loves me with a passion. He's a simple man. I'm gonna hold him till I cry. Give up that ghost and fly. I thought my loving days were over. I thought I was stuck in a dry and empty land. But in him I soon discovered a simple man.
All right, Kelly, beautiful song, beautiful girl. Like I say, she's such a prolific songwriter, good songwriter. That girl, and great performer. You ever go to her, all of her links are down below, and you won't be disappointed. Like I say, you won't be disappointed in her. Next, we have Angela Predhomme with "Here's How I Did It."
Hey, Angela Predhomme here. Here's how I did it. Hello, Angela here. And the first placement I'm going to share with you the details of how it happened is a song called So Easy. And that song ended up in a pretty major ING bank commercial in Europe. It was in Poland. And how it happened was I wrote the song for an ad pitch for, and this is like years ago. So that happened in like 2013 or 2014. And I was on a website called Broadjam, and they were like looking for things. And I haven't been on Broadjam for years, by the way, but this is what I was doing at the time. And so they were looking for advertisement. They were looking for a certain type of music, and they had a description. And, ads, they don't use a whole song, right? They just use part of it. So I thought, okay, well, I'll come up with something. So I wrote this song called So Easy. And it's just this really light, little poppy fluff piece. And I think that the ad was for convenience food, like microwave food or something. But do you want to know if I got that? No, I didn't get that. I did. So I wrote it for this specific pitch. I created it for this specific pitch. I didn't get it. So then I just put it out there in another library, a library called Audio Sparks, ending with an X. Okay, so Audio Sparks. I had been, I had gotten accepted to that library. I had sent things to them. And so it got picked up from Audio Sparks for that ad in Europe. They just found it and they liked it, and it was good for this ING Bank. And what ING Bank used it for was for their mobile app. They were trying to get, that's when everything was going, just to smartphones and everything back in 2013, 2014. So it was, so easy. And so it worked well for that, and they picked it up. And, that is like kind of like a stock type of library. And so I didn't negotiate directly, with the client, with the ad agency. They had picked it up through Audio Sparks. And through Audio Sparks, I did, they are set up that I did get performance royalties eventually. It took 3 years for me to get my performance royalties from my PRO, which is CSEC. Because it's European, and it just that international stuff takes a long time. I got a small licensing fee from Audio Sparks. It was no big deal. You know how you hear about ads you can make like enough to buy a car. It's like this wasn't like that. But I mean it was a small market. It's Poland, and plus it came from a library, so the ad agency got a really good deal, right? I mean they were like, oh look, we can get this song for pretty cheap here, we'll use it. So that is how my ING Bank placement happened, and that one was really widely seen. They played that, I think it was on TV, and the radio was all over Poland, and that's pretty cool. So and now I have a certain following in Poland because of it, so it's great. So anyways, that's how that one happened, and go ahead and tune in next time, and I'll tell you about another one.
Thank you, Angela. Appreciate that. See you next week. All right. Next, we're going down under. I was in Australia for a while, and one thing I learned down in Australia, you know what you call a boomerang that doesn't come back? Well, hell, it's a stick. What else could you call it? And yeah, we're going to go do some techno music now with Dej Macatata. Elvis's tongue gets wrapped around his eye teeth with this name, and I can't see what I'm saying. But this guy mixes, produces, does all this music himself. And he's a father of 2 kids, and he's doing really well with his music. Give it a listen. We'll talk about it when we get back. Well, I was hoping I'd learn how to pronounce that name by the time we got back, but had no luck with it. But that's some good music there. Like I say, all of his information, here's his Reverb Nation, where you can catch him on Reverb Nation, and all the information will be in the links down below. Anyway, while you're down there, subscribe. We're up to, I think, 1,300 subscribers. We can use more, all right? Now, here's a new segment, or it's a variation of a segment. This is the best pickup line I've ever heard.
Hey, can I get your phone number?
I have a boyfriend.
I have a math test.
What?
Oh, I'm sorry, they're talking about things we could cheat on.
Cheating on a math test. Well, that's a great line, though, huh? You single guys out there, use that if you want to. You know, math never was my forte in school. I mean, I remember when I was just a young buck, a teacher asked me, had me stand up, and she says, "What's 4 and 4?" And I started counting on my fingers. I said, 8. And she said, "No, don't count on your fingers." No. She said, "Okay." She said, "What's 6 and 4?" And I started again. And I said, 10. She said, "No, you're counting on your fingers again." She said, "Put your hands in your pocket." And I put my hands in my pocket. She said, "Now, tell me, what's 5 and 5? And I went, 11. Thank God we weren't into fractions, or I would have had to say 10 and a half. I don't know. Anyhow, here's Kev's lick of the week. Take it, Kev. Get me out of this mess.
Let's do it.
Hello, welcome back to Kev's Lick of the Week. This week, Randy Rhoads with Ozzy Osbourne, Crazy Train.
All right, Kev, thank you for that. Up next, we have another Reverb Nation artist, hip hop, Jarmel Reece out of Phoenix, Arizona. I mean, this guy's got a gang of fans. You can always use some more. Go over there and check him out. Like I say, here's his Reverb Nation. Check him out on Reverb Nation. The link will be down below. And like I said earlier, hit that subscribe. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. You don't have to hit that bell. You know, yeah, pelvis bothering you every once in a while. Ding dong is, you know, as much as I put up on YouTube, it'll be driving you nuts. But Jarmel Reece, Children of the Sun. Here we go. Thank you, Jarmel. That was fantastic. That was absolutely fantastic. I like that a lot. All right, you guys. You accuse me of having a bromance with this guy, but I'm telling you what. If he didn't do what he did, well, maybe I would. Maybe I would. But doing what he does just is so appealing to me. I mean, that guy is a professional. And I'm talking about Craig Blaine at JCB Music. All right. Now I ask him, every week I talk about JCB Music and we have what's on the board. And I told him, you should put a little something together, show the people around your studio and what you have. And I've been in that studio. I've done a lot of recording in that studio. And it's got guitars in there, acoustic, electric. Hell, you could get a kazoo if you wanted it. Tambourines, anything you want, he's got in there, plus all the electronics, the MIDI stuff and all that. So I asked him, I said, put something together, show us around the studio, show us what you can do. And, a lot of people don't realize what a produced record sounds like before it's produced, before you do all the bells and whistles to it. And I said, you should show that, the before and the after. And so that's what he did for us. And I want you to watch this, and I want you to think about getting in touch with him. Just send him an email or call him up. His phone number's on his website. Hell, it'll be right down here too. And call him up, ask him for his rates. I mean, you won't find anything better anywhere. And all you have to do is send your wave files, whatever you have, and he'll put it together for you. And he's been working with Kev Foster from the Licks of the Week. And Kev is just over the moon happy with him. So I know you will be too. So let's watch this walk through his studio, and I'll talk to you when we get back.
Hi guys, Craig in the recording studio. I use Contact 10, Complete 10, which is a suite of hundreds of beautiful sounding virtual instruments. Let me play a little harpsichord for you right now. I'm here at the heart of my recording studio is the Roland 2480 workstation. It's a completely self-contained unit, 24 tracks, 24-bit, pristine quality, plugins, effects, mixing, mastering, full editing, even automated mix down, which means like the faders program in a move. Let's say I want to lower these and bring them up, then bring them back. I put that in the memory, execute auto mix, and faders move themselves down, back up, and into place. That's automated mix down. Joe Thomas Blaine's Ode to Roger Stone. Then I want to play you the produced version. There's so, as a producer, you can take a song so many different places. So let's listen to the demo version first.
And drained of all civility, the swamp still makes for good TV. You found so many you could usher, led them straight into the gutter. What can you do but as that hardened hearts be open, shattered hearts be healed, and call for open hearts to
Now, the
blossom.
produced version.
And drained of all civility, the swamp still makes for good TV. You found so many you could usher, and led them straight into the gutter. What can we do but as that hardened hearts be open, shattered hearts be healed, and call for open hearts?
So there you have it, guys.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. All right, so like I said before we ran that video, get in touch with him. Just, a phone call or an email. Just get a rate sheet from him, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised, and I know you'll be over the moon happy with the outcome of your music. This guy does a phenomenal job. He's been there forever. I think they built the building around him. I'm not sure, but as long as he's been there. But get in touch with him, Craig Blaine, JCB Music, San Diego. All right, that's it for the show. We had some great talent on here tonight. We had a little techno music. We had a little hip hop. We had Kelly Zervis. I mean, with that simple man I button known. And Angela, Kevin, Paul Robert Thomas, and Sweet Marie Johns. Congratulations, girl. surely you deserve all the accolades you're getting. I mean, and I hope it brings you joy and happiness and money, okay? And appreciate you being a fan of the show. I appreciate all of you being a fan of the show. And this is Pelvis saying, peace out. Love you all.